Oh, and welcome to another episode. How many remembers the Northern Lights from last weekend? Well, this morning I am hoping to share with you my capture of the Northern Lights. Briefly, I just want to say that I had broke away from my personal goal of photographing in monochrome, and in order to do this, as a matter of fact, I will briefly explain what I used. I used this Lumix S5II. It has a Lumix 20 to 60 f3.5 to f5.6 lens. And this was the camera that I used to photograph the Northern Lights and ended up creating what I thought was a very beautiful time-lapse video of it. And this is all from Central Arizona. We won't go into the meat of the matter. We won't dissect everything that I did. That's not the purpose of this episode, but the purpose is to share what I captured. It took a few, because down here, I will share this. When I looked out my studio window northward, I couldn't see anything outright. Not like the classic, say, National Geographic photos of the Northern Lights from up north in the cold country. But I had a sense that it was out there. I could feel, or I think I seen what I thought was an oddity, as it were, looking into the northern skies. Now, I was born and raised in Arizona. I know what the northern skies look like at night. And there's something up there, or there was something visually that said, okay, something's out there. Let's do this. So that's when I set this camera up. And the first shot that I photographed, I knew there was something up there. Made a series of exposure changes to dial in what I liked or what I thought was a great exposure. Photographed again, and then I was happy. The settings were very simple. I was in manual mode. I had the lens all the way out to 20 millimeter focal length, so therefore I could set it up to a f3.5 f-stop. ISO was at 3200, and the shutter speed was set at 5 seconds. And then the neat thing that I liked about this camera that I finally did, I never done it before, is I went and done it in time-lapse mode. Because once I was done with the 500 exposure, it came up on the screen and asked, would you like to create a time-lapse video? And I thought, yes. And I'd like to share that video with you right now. It's only 8 seconds. Was that not awesome? I was hooked. I was frankly impressed. And so that's when I began to think a little bit, and this is what I'm also going to share with you. Earlier this year, I had set a goal to photograph only in monochrome. I think I'm going to shift gears just a scotch. I'm still going to photograph monochrome. I love monochrome. I've had a great time shooting monochrome because it is a challenge. But the one thing I learned when I was photographing the Northern Lights last weekend is there are certain times, certain things that requires color photographs in order to tell the story. And I think this is one of those fine examples. And so I wanted to share that with you, my thoughts. I'm going to kind of adjust. I'm going to still focus mostly on shooting monochrome. But there are going to be times that I know that I'm going to be photographing in color. So, having said that, I hope you enjoy this episode. It was a learning curve. It was a fun curve. I know that using this camera, I've done things using this camera that I've not done, primarily the time-lapse, creating a time-lapse video. And I do like to thank those that had subscribed to my channel recently. I appreciate it. Thank you. And I promise you the next episode will be, I like to think would be a fun episode. It's going to be with I'll just share this. It's going to be with a 35 millimeter film camera. I know. And I hope that you'll enjoy that episode. So, without further ado, catch you later.